we are going to live and we can talk and there. Okay. Yeah, we start already.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'm checking the YouTube now. It can be sometimes a bad thing. Yeah, it's, I think it comes from YouTube. It's a clear. Okay.
Yeah, great. So we are live now.
Yeah.
Great.
How is going Ramadan, Ahmet?
Ramadan.
We are okay. We are waiting in a couple of minutes, then we can start.
Yeah.
Just yeah. I know you can talk in Turkish and the English, but which one is the prefer when you tell something to us?
Yeah.
If you want to choose English, you can. Just I'm asking
I prefer to speak in English, but you know, I can just say in Turkish, nasılsın, iyi misin? Something like
I know.
this.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Sometimes
yeah,
sometimes I will translate to me. Someone can ask the question to you, then me I can need to translate to you because some people doesn't know the English in Turkey.
Yeah.
Up to session because I don't know. This is the first time English webcast in our Infinitum Labs. Maybe we will run into some problem. I don't know, but we can see.
If anyone has a question, you can translate it to me and I will answer directly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm already, because this is your sign also. Just I will get a silent mode. Then if someone can ask the question, then I will translate you. And if you want to also ask something like that, I will translate. Okay.
Yeah, great.
So
perfect.
Thank you for joining us meeting, Ahmet. First of all, I would like to introduce yourself, and then I will give you the microphone. Then you can say what do you want. Okay.
Yeah, great. So first of all, thank you, Mr. Gohan, for inviting me for this interview. It's such a pleasure to be with you today. I hope I will share some good information for all the Turkish community. So who am I? I'm Ahmed El Sadat, Egyptian. I'm penetration tester at Infinitum Labs. I'm working with Mr. Gohan, and I'm a security consultant at insurance company. Also, I'm part-time hacker and bug bounty hunter. I'm background most valuable player and B1 warrior for 2020.
Also, Ahmed, just I would like to ask a question about Backroad.
Sure.
Can you explain what was that platform? Can you explain that platform, because our attending, our guest doesn't know about the Backroad or something like that. This is the global bug bounties platform, and just
this is a global bug bounty platform. It's like it's connecting the hackers with the company owners. So it's a platform. The company owners or the customers registering for this company, then they are connecting with the hackers. So they are giving the background, the domains or the targets they want the hackers to test. Then the hackers on the same platform, there is thousands of hackers competing. It's like competition to find vulnerabilities in the programs or companies on this platform. So
I see.
It's global. There's thousands of hackers and bug hunters competing in this. It's profitable. If you found the vulnerability, you report it and you get rewarded for it.
Sounds great. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Go ahead.
So I am in the top 500 hackers all the time at Backroad. I got acknowledged by more than 100 companies like Google, Microsoft, MasterCard, Apple, etc. Also, and finally, Red Team member at SINAC.
Sounds great. What kind of vulnerability did you find on that platform? Is XCSS or because I know you are already listed of honors list on that company, but can you explain what kind of vulnerability did you find for now? Because you are sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, most of the vulnerability I found, it's about the injections in general, like SQL injections or JavaScript injections like XSS. This is the most vulnerabilities and the common. Also the authentication vulnerabilities like I accessed some admin panels of the companies and database. I reported this kind of vulnerabilities and got rewarded for this.
Oh, sounds great.
I found some mobile application vulnerabilities on this platform.
Okay, you focused already, I know, web application security test and the mobile application security test. You're focused on it.
Mainly in the mainly in the websites and also the mobile applications.
Sounds
Android
great.
Specifically.
Okay, what are you going to tell us today, Ahmed?
Today I have a presentation I will share with you now.
Okay. Sometimes I can ask a question, then
sure.
So yeah, you can, if possible, I will ask some question in this meeting.
Exactly. All right. It's live now, the presentation, right?
Just YouTube comes in, this our live session, but let me check the YouTube now. I can see your screen. I'm checking the YouTube. I think it will be okay. Yeah, I can see your screen.
It's live.
Let me check. Yeah, it's live. Yeah, I can see on the YouTube your screen. Right.
Great. So today our topic is about how to get started in the bug bounty hunting and how to become a bug bounty hunter. So in other words, you can say how to make money from hacking.
Oh, it sounds great.
This is almost everyone searching for this one. Yeah, this is who am I told about this. Our topics today will be about what is bug bounty, why bug hunting, how to become a bug bounty hunter, and bug hunter methodology and mindset. I will share some bug bounty tips. Some of them will be mine, demo, and Q&A. So what is bug bounty? In simple, bug bounty is to find bugs or vulnerabilities, then you will report it for the platform, which is Bugcrowd or HackerOne. Then the team validating your report, if it deserves to be security risk, they are discussing with the company. If it's real security risk, then you will get rewarded or you will get paid for this bug. Bug hunting, as I said, it's rewarding for ethical hackers. There is thousands of hackers on platforms like Bugcrowd or HackerOne. They are getting rewarded for web and mobile or desktop application and sometimes IoT applications, or cryptographic. Why to start bug hunting? First of all, to learn tips and improve your hacking techniques. Every day you need to learn new techniques, new tips to, as I told you, it's kind of competition. You have to be more aware about techniques and then the new tips of the hacking to get the chance to find more vulnerabilities. As a result, you will get more rewarded. Also, to be challenged, to have fun, and to make some money, career advancement. You can find a job if you have a good profile on the bug bounty platforms. Almost you will get project and work. Also, you'll get some cool t-shirts, hoodies, and other stuff. So, what is the bug bounty what is the bug bounty programs? bug bounty programs, it's not like the bug bounty platform. The bug bounty, when I say bug bounty program, I mean the company itself, the customer who is registering for Bugcrowd or HackerOne to allow the hackers test on this on his application. They are inviting some hackers. Sometimes it could be by invitation. Sometimes it can be public for any hacker to participate in it. There's some key statistics for this for bug hunting. Google paid $6.7 million to bug hunters in 2020. 78% of hackers on HackerOne used their hacking experience to help them find a career opportunity. HackerOne also paid approximately $40 million in bounties in 2019. GitLab awarded $380 bounties to just for 62 hackers. This is example of the bug bounty program of Shopify on HackerOne. They have more than 1,000 vulnerabilities solved by hackers. They are paying for the low vulnerability or low security issue. They are paying 500, for medium 1,000, for high 10,000, for critical 30,000. You can go, if you have a good knowledge in bug bounty, you can check it out and make some money. They are paying also for the maximum bounty. If it's so critical, they are paying $50,000. Now we will talk about how to become a bug bounty hunter. Of course, everything to get started with, you have to get some prerequisites for it, and then you will develop your methodology, your tools, topics to learn, and we will talk in these slides about practical examples, how to find vulnerabilities and create some reports.
Ahmed, should we need to get some certificate for that? For example, CHA certificate means ethical hacker certificate. Do we need some certificate for being bug bounty hunter, or just we need the computer? That's what is your suggestion? We need to get some certificate for that. Well,
for bug bounty, you don't need any kind of certificates. Top 10 hackers on the platforms like HackerOne and Bugcrowd, most of them don't have any certificates. All you need is your computer or laptop, your bug hunter mindset, develop your tools, develop your methodology. That's all what you have to do. You don't have to get all the certificates, all offensive security certificates to start in the bug bounty. The certificates, I believe in, you have to be qualified, then certified. My opinion in the certificates, it's just opening the way to you to get interviews and so on, and to apply for any job in the security field, you have to carry some certificates. But now most of the companies not looking for certificates. They are searching for your skills and what can you do with them, how you can be a profit for them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So what is the prerequisite to start bug hunting? You have to get some knowledge with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Also, you have to be aware about Python or PHP, SQL queries, and so on to can manipulate with Sql Injection vulnerabilities. You have to get your hands on and create a website to understand how the website works and how can the website behave with the browsers. You have to know about the Linux commands and bash scripting for automation, and you have to get some knowledge about network like HTTP, HTTPS, etc. Learn to make it, then break it. So you have to learn how to make a website, or how to make application in general, website or mobile application. Then you have to learn how to break it or how to hack it. Here's the top 10 security risk. It's organized by OWASP. It's well known as OWASP top 10. First thing, it's injections, then broken authentication, sensitive data exposure, XML, XXE, broken access control, security misconfigurations, cross-site scripting, insecure visualization, using components with known vulnerabilities, insufficient logging and monitoring.
When you are looking some website for bug bounty, are you using this list, or do you have any different kind of attack methodology?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or you just enough the OWASP top 10?
Mainly, you are searching for the top 10 of the OWASP, because everything on this one, for example, this is first thing, it's injections. This is the most critical thing. These injections, including Sql injection, including a lot of kind of injection, JavaScript injection,
HTML injection,
command injection, and so on, RCE and so on. So every one of these, including different type of vulnerabilities. And also, every hacker has his own methodology. He has his own vulnerabilities he's looking about in each program. Common bug bounty platforms is HackerOne, Bugcrowd, Integrity, and Synack. This is the most famous platforms. All hackers hacking on these platforms. As I said to you, this is connecting the hackers and the companies together to solve the security issues and to find security issues. Now we will talk about the tools. Most famous tool, and everyone needs to get involved in this field. He has to get knowledge about Prerequisites. I know some hackers, they are just using this Prerequisites and their mindset to find vulnerabilities. Here you can intercept every single request. You can intercept it. You can check every parameter in the website. You can manipulate everything, every feature on the website or the application. Even the mobile application, I'm using this tool to find the security vulnerabilities and find the security misconfigurations. There's some kind of Prerequisite extensions also. It's very important extensions like authorize, CO2, reflected parameters. These kind of extensions, they are helping you to find some misconfigurations on the website, or you will find specific vulnerabilities like, for example, reflected parameters. It's searching for every parameter. They are putting some random strings. If this string is reflected in the response, then this extension will making alert for you that this parameter maybe will be vulnerable to XSS vulnerability. Then you will test there. Maybe you will find some restrictions, but finally you can end with XSS vulnerability. In my opinion, your brain and hacker mindset is your best tool. Every time I'm getting asked about what kind of tools you are using, some beginners they are thinking that the good hacker, or to be good hacker, you have to get some you have to get a collection of tools. It's kind of secret or something. It's not a secret. It's not about tools. It's all about your mindset and how to develop your mindset. Also, and you are using some few tools to find the security vulnerabilities, but it's all about your mindset and methodology. Now we will talk about the bug hunters methodology. How to find bugs. We will talk about the reconnaissance part of the reconnaissance part before attacking the target. What we are doing to find how to find the scope and gathering information about the target. First, we are discovering the IP range of the company. For example, we are using this website, ASN. Here you are writing just Tesla company. Okay, you will get the IP range of Tesla Motors. Then you will search for the prefixes of this. You will get the block of IPs of the Tesla Motors. Now you have a block of IP. Then you can test these IPs for port scanning and so on in the Nmap and find if there is any open port, you can exploit it. I'm using also showdown organization. This is giving overview, or you are just writing. This is kind of dork for the showdown organization. You are writing Tesla Motors. Then you will get the IPs belong to this company. You will check what kind of services they are, providing, and if there is any kind of CV also, you can find it here. If there is famous open port, you can find it also in this website. The most important step in the information gathering or reconnaissance step is subdomain enumeration for your target, especially in the bug hunting, because in the bug hunting, as I told you, there is thousands of hackers searching for the same thing using same tools. So you have to get more creative. You have to find different ways to extend your scope.
Yeah, that's why Ahmed, we need to know some scripting language or some software language, because you need to get more powerful from the other guys. That's why we need to know software language. Is it right? Because
exactly.
Some guys that also ask the kind of question. That's why I'm asking to you.
That's absolutely right, because for personally, I'm using Bash scripting. I'm developing my own framework. This framework automation is very important in the bug hunting process, because it's competition. You have to find the vulnerability faster than everyone. So if you want to develop your own tools or develop your own hacking stuff, Python or Bash scripting will be great for you. I personally recommend Python. It's more faster, and also you can use Bash to extend your tools and use much tools in just one command. So we will come back to the subdomain enumeration. As I told you, it's a very important step. The most common tool for this, it's public tool. It's Subfinder. Here he's writing just the domain name. You are just writing the domain name of your target. Here he's searching for the subdomains of the Twitch. Then it will find searching for the subdomains in all of these websites. It will search for the subdomains. Then you will get, for just this domain, you got 465 unique subdomains. You will take every single subdomain on this list, and you will find which one is valid, which one is live. Then you will start to hunt on it. You can also, this is one of the most famous subdomain enumeration tool. It's AMAS. This is personally I'm using this tool too much. It finds too many subdomains from different resources. Here is list of the subdomains for just one domain. This is just a screenshot, but for in normal, this website, maybe you can find more than 2,000 subdomains for this website because it's a very famous website. As I told you, this kind of tools, AMAS and Subfinder, all hackers or almost of them using similar tools. So you have to get more creative. You have to extend your scope, as I told you, to find extra bugs and so on. So personally, I'm using subdomain brute forcing. You are brute forcing, which is mean you are brute forcing the DNS with a huge list, a huge word list. Then you will find something subdomain interesting live in the live subdomain, which is internal or something. Then you will start test on it. Maybe you will find critical bug. If you got a unique subdomain, which is mean there was no hacker there, you are first one attacking this website. As a result, you will find extra vulnerabilities, and you will extend your scope. Second step after subdomain, third step after subdomain enumeration is visual identification. We are using Eyewitness for this one. Eyewitness, it's taking list of subdomains and making it's converting these subdomains to screenshots. You are making screenshots for all the live subdomains here, so you don't have to open all these subdomains. You will get thousands of subdomains, so you don't have to open it all in the browser. You will get a screenshot for it. Make the process more easy for you. We will start the demo. First thing we'll talk about, now we talked about the methodology you are using or reconnaissance system. Now we will attack the target. You are trying to find CVEs or platform identifications. For this one, you can use Burp Suite Vulner Scanner. This is Burp Suite extension. You are installing this extension in your Burp Suite. Then you will just feed the Burp Suite with the target domain. Then you will send it to the scanner. If there is something interested in or CVE or something, it will show you alert that I found this kind of vulnerability or this kind of the CVE. One of the most important things you have to look about in the bug hunting or penetration testing in general is content directory and directory brute forcing. This means, as I told you, it's all about finding new area, which is no one searched in this area before. So if you found a new endpoint, that means you got more chance to find vulnerability. So here we are directly brute forcing the endpoints with your own word. You can use your own word list. Here there is a so recommended word list here for JSON Hadex. It's well known as all.txt. This word list, you can use it. You may find endpoints like this, which can be very juicy, and you can find vulnerabilities on this endpoint. Here, after brute forcing, this is the brute forcing workflow. After brute forcing, you are looking for the status code and the length of each endpoint, if there is any kind of the misconfiguration or access control. Here's an example. This is the main domain, okay, giving you 200 status code. If you're trying to get this endpoint, which is backlog. You will get 404, which is not found. You will continue to brute forcing control panel, admin panel, any backup endpoint like maybe you can find SQL credentials or database credentials. This means here after for not found, you have no access for this endpoint. You are continue to brute forcing to here. Then if you are brute forcing to this endpoint, maybe you will get access to the control panel due to misconfiguration of the admin panel. Personally, I got some vulnerabilities like this. I got access to admin panels just by brute forcing. I found some credentials. After I got credentials, I used these credentials to enter or get access to the admin panel.
Ahmet, sometimes the company, not sometimes, most of the company using a web application firewall. If you are using that tools, it can be blocked from the web application firewall. Do you have any bypass methodology, or are you using any kind of bypass methodology?
Yeah, of course, there is a bypassing techniques for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I will talk about my own methodology.
Mm-hmm.
If I got this situation, which is common because most of the websites using Cloudflare or other kind of firewalls, first thing I'm looking about to find the original IP of the website. If you got the original IP of the website, then that means you, especially in Cloudflare, that means you bypassed the protection of the Cloudflare or the firewall.
Oh, if the company using Cloudflare, any kind of cloud-based web application firewall, you need to know real IP address of the target website. Then you are focused on the target real IP address. Is it right?
Exactly. I'm trying to find the original IP address. If you found it, you can find it in Shodan. You can find in any DNS history website. There is too many tools getting you the DNS history. If you got the original IP, that means you almost bypassed all the protections of the Cloudflare or the firewall.
What is your what is your statistic? Because I know in industry a lot of company using Cloudflare. When you are talking it kind of bypass methodology of the Cloudflare, I can imagine you can get success over 70%. What is your success?
For Cloudflare, it's like 80%. You'll bypass the protection.
8%. It's
for Cloudflare specifically for Cloudflare, but for Encapsula or some it may be hard because it's very hard to find the original IP for Encapsula website or Imperva. Encapsula firewall or Imperva. So it depends on the firewall and how you will manage to bypass it. I told you one technique for Cloudflare. I'm trying to find the original IP. Then I'm bypassing almost any restrictions or for the firewall. This is first methodology I'm using. There is one more methodology which is working for me also. I'm using two websites, connecting two websites. Okay, you are connecting your two websites with your Purpose Suite tool. That means every few minutes your IP changes. Your IP getting changed. You got me? So every few minutes your IP getting changed. That means you can if the firewall making blocking for you for example after 5 minutes of brute forcing, you can bypass it by writing a script making your IP change it for each 1 minute or each 5 or each 10 seconds, you can change your IP. I'm personally connecting the Tor browser with Prerequisites to bypass this kind of protection.
I see.
Yeah. So this is my two methodologies to bypass the firewall protection for the direct brute forcing. Exactly. There's a famous tool for brute forcing or finding the endpoints, which is GoBuster. GoBuster is the DNS busting tool written with the Go language, which is very fast tool. Here we can see a live example. You are just feeding the tool with the word list, your word list. Then you will say, I just need the status code, which is 200 or 300, which is any redirections, and you will feed it also with the threads. You will give it 100 threads. Then it will brute force each endpoint for you. Maybe you will find something. You'll find something interesting. You can find backup files or critical files and so on. Critical endpoint, for example, here he found admin endpoint redirecting. Then we are looking for discover hidden parameters. Almost for Prerequisites tool, it's almost giving you the parameters, which is obviously anyone can find. So we have to find hidden parameters, which is no one found before. For this stuff, we are using the hidden parameter discovery tools, which is most famous two tools is Parameth and Argon. I'm using Argon personally. Here you are trying to find this subdomain. You are feeding this tool with the subdomain. Then this tool will brute force the parameters to find the hidden parameters for the subdomain. For example, in this example, this tool found valid parameters like host, filter, and so on. This kind of parameters, it's hidden parameters. So obviously you can test, for example, in this parameters, you can test for any kind of injections. You can test for command injection. This kind of parameter is the common parameter for command injection. You can test here for XSS vulnerability and so on. It's also very useful for the IDOR vulnerability. I found several bugs and vulnerabilities using this tool. Now we will talk about Sql injection and how to, just a simple idea about Sql injection and how to find Sql injection. When you are looking for Sql injection, you have to find if the page looking like, or the parameter looking like it's the parameter storing data. If this page or this parameter storing any kind of data, then you have to inject your Sql injection payloads and find what kind of error you will get. You will get back in the response. Then you will try to manipulate with the Sql parameters, with the vulnerable parameters. Here is a checklist tool for Sql injection. You can fuzz with these payloads to get the Sql error or something. After that, you can feed it for any Sql injection tools like Sql Mapper. Here's the blind injection, blind Sql injection and error based. Almost I'm using this payload. It's giving me error-based, SQL-based, error-based vulnerability or error. The king of the and most famous tool for the Sql injection is Sql Map. Here is some parameters, common parameter for injection points. Any ID in general, you have to test. If you found any parameter containing ID, you have to test for Sql injection. You have to use Timber script also to bypass the filters and so on, and any kind of restrictions of the websites. You have to use Timber scripting. Also, you can use Burp Suite extension, which is Sql Mapper. Then this tool will inform you if this tool found any SQL error or time-based error in the response. It will inform you or show a notification for you that I have something wrong here, or it's kindly SQL injection vulnerability. One of the vulnerabilities which is I prefer personally because there is very few hackers looking for this kind of vulnerabilities is privilege escalation. Privilege escalation, it's fine to find functionality that is restricted for users, but it's not restricted for the admin, or it's allowed for the admin or high privilege users. To find this kind of vulnerability or to be a vulnerability, try to accessing these functions, for example, payment or post-based any post request making some actions, which is just authorized for the admin. If you can do it as normal user, then you found the privilege escalation vulnerability. If you can get access for endpoint, just allow it for the admin, and you got access for this endpoint as a user, then you got a privilege escalation vulnerability. There is some tools can help you in this vulnerability. I'm personally using Authorized. It's Burp Suite plugin, helping to find privilege escalation vulnerability. Here is the testing to test for user privilege. Here is how it should be. Admin has a power, and user has a few permissions. We are looking for functions which are only meant for admin and are accessible by user. We have business logic vulnerabilities. This is also not well known for most of the bug hunters, not looking for these vulnerabilities. Most of the bug hunters just looking for low-hanging fruit and how to gain money faster. Then, if you found this kind of low vulnerabilities, it will end finally in not applicable or duplicate. But for these unique vulnerabilities, you will almost get reject from your first attempt. Your vulnerability will get validated because no one searched for this vulnerability. So what is business logic vulnerability? It's kind of tricky, and mostly it's manual tools to find it. You have to understand the logic of the business or the logic of the website, the logic of the target. Then you will try to abuse the restrictions. You will abuse the features of the website. For example, if you found the payment gateway, you will try to abuse it to buy something with high amount of money. You will try to buy it with you will manipulate in the parameters to buy it with nothing, or you will buy it with low price. This kind of vulnerabilities is business logic vulnerabilities. So it's substitution of hash parameters. You will try to step manipulation. You will use negatives in the quantities. If you found a quantity item or quantity parameters, you will try to use negative. If it's positive 2, you will try to use negative. Then you can find the business logic vulnerability on this feature. Authentication bypass also, application level DOS attack or timing attacks. One of the common vulnerabilities also is insecure direct object reference or IDOR vulnerability. Here's example. This is post request, and here is ID parameter. You are just trying to change this parameter, or you can change the client ID parameter. This any ID parameter you are trying to change it, then you will get in the response the data of the users for this ID, his name, his email, his phone number, and so on. So you are always trying to find misconfigurations on this endpoint. It's almost vulnerable for IDOR vulnerability. Now we will talk about how to report vulnerability. This is the most important step of all. You just put it too much effort to find the vulnerability. Now you have to write a well-detailed report to get validated. You have to highlight the risk of the vulnerability to the trigger or the company to get validate your report easily. Here is some resources to write your report. Now it's time for bug bounty tips. This is my own bug bounty tips. Here is how I accessed to multi-million-dollar company database on one of private programs on HackerOne. Here was a target, and there was endpoint, which is web admin. This endpoint giving in the response 300 redirect in the response for the main domain. Then I tried to manipulate in the characters and trying to write capital characters and small characters and so on. So I got 200 status code for admin login page. I got the admin login page for this endpoint. Then I started fuzzing. With my own word list to find the critical sensitive files. It's obviously here. I found PHP code containing database name, host, and password, and port name, and port number, and the username, and too many sensitive information. Then I got access to their database, and I got rewarded for this vulnerability with the maximum reward.
Hi, I'm wondering about the company name.
Yeah,
okay. After the session, I will ask. Yeah, after the session.
Yeah, but it's payment. It's kind of payment website.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's great.
Other technique I used to find Sql injection in one of the programs on background. I did this screenshot will summarize what I said in all the slides. First of all, I started with subdomain enumeration. Then I started to find the content discovery and brute force for endpoints. I found the endpoint which has a name very interesting. Then I searched for the hidden parameters. I found parameter name stored ID. When I saw this parameter, as I told you, when you see any parameter containing ID, you have first thing you have to think about to to find SQL injection or to test for SQL injection vulnerability. When I started to enter malicious strings for the parameter, I found it's under firewall protection. I bypassed the firewall using the methodology that I told you. I found the original IP address for this subdomain. Then I bypassed the firewall. Then I found SQL errors started to come in the response. I just forwarded this to SQL Map, and I dumped all their database. One more tip for how I found high impact IDOR on CNAC. This is a tip. If you are looking for high impact IDOR, you have to search for this kind of vulnerability, for this kind of endpoints, like settings, profile, or user. Your dashboard. You have to find your profile endpoint, your settings endpoint. Then you will try to find hidden parameters on this endpoint, like account settings, like profile. This kind of endpoints is very important to test, to find hidden parameters. If you found hidden parameters, I found hidden parameter here. Then I tested for IDOR vulnerability, and I got access to all customers' information of this company. I got also rewarded by CNAC for this vulnerability. Here is how I got $500 in 2 minutes for a program on background.
Come on, it seems like Bitcoin. How you get money? How you get money?
Actually, it was fun. It was fun vulnerability. It was the easiest vulnerability I ever found in my bug hunting journey. $500 in 2 minutes. The tip for this, I didn't use anything or any tool special. There's nothing secret, as I told you. I just used Burp Suite, which I told you about. I just used Burp Suite search features. There is a search feature in the Burp Suite. You are just writing what kind of the tokens, or there is some dorks you are searching about, like password, like admin, like credentials, like token, like API key. For this vulnerability, I just wrote in the search, I just making input in the search feature, API key. Just write it, API key. I got in one of their JavaScript file containing API key. I tried to exploit this API key, and I got access to all their employees' data, even the director of the company. I got his address and personal information, how much he's getting paid every month, and so on. I reported this vulnerability, and I got $500 for it.
In our pen test, I can see many companies forget the critical data behind their website. Is it right, Ahmed?
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of misconfiguration and leaks, because the developers they are just thinking I'm just writing code. I don't have to secure my code or secure the credentials. They're just thinking my task is just to write the code. So he's storing sensitive information in GitHub repository, for example. This is very common vulnerability, and too many hackers got rewarded with big bounties for this. I know someone got $15,000 for just API key in GitHub. This is just the mistake of the developer. He forgot the sensitive information or sensitive credentials on the GitHub repository. In my case, I found the API key in the JavaScript code. That's why I recommend to everyone to read the JavaScript files. Even there is some tools analyzing the JavaScript files, and if there is anything, any keyword sensitive or something, this tool will inform you. Here's some extra bug bounty tips. First of all, you have to know your scope well. You have to study your scope. Second, the automation. You have to take care of the automation. It's the main reason why some hackers getting too many vulnerabilities in the short time. You have to search for answers for every feature, for every function. You have to ask some security questions, and you have to find answers or search for answers for it. And here you don't have to ask security professionals for this one. Just use Google and you'll find your answers. Keep historic your data. All your recon data and all kind of your data, you have to write it and take notes for everything you will find in the target. You have to take note of this one and keep it historic. Escalate everything. If you found low vulnerability, try to escalate it to high level vulnerability or high risk vulnerability. You have to read the JavaScript files. You have to learn from others. This is very important. You have to learn from others' reports and write-ups to be pro in the bug hunting. You have to read many reports and write-ups. There is activity on HackerOne. There is too many kind of reports disclosed to public. You have to check it out. Then there is many write-ups. You can check it out also. If anyone just write bug bounty write-ups in Google, he will find too many write-ups for this one. You have to build your own framework. Personally, I'm using my own framework for bug hunting, which is I developed by myself with Bash scripting and Python. Always look for through source code of subdomains. Whenever you get the subdomain, you have to check the source code. Maybe you'll find something interesting. Finally, never give up and be patient. It's not an easy way. If it's, as I told Gohan before, if it's easy, everyone will do it. It's not easy at all. You have to get some patience. You have to learn too much. You have to read too much to find your first vulnerability and get your first bounty. So never give up and keep learning and keep improving yourself. This should be highlighted. Automation is the key in the bug bounty. You have never send. There's a quote saying, "Never send a human to do a machine's job." So you have to build your own framework, and you have to use automation to do the routine stuff. You don't have to make everything every time and taking same time for each test you are doing. You can automate as much as you can with the automation scripts like Bash script or Python. You can automate some of the bug hunting steps or some of penetration testing steps. Personally, I'm using a framework which is I developed by myself. I'm just feeding this one with the domain name. It's giving me the subdomains, the IP addresses, open ports, if there is any kind of CVEs, and it's getting me notifying in my Telegram. I'm getting notified for what is the progress of this tool, and if there is any kind of vulnerability, I'm getting notified on my Telegram.
Oh, sounds good. You developed by Python, your framework?
This framework is 80% with Bash scripting and 20% with Python. I'm using several tools, like many tools inside these tools. For example, I'm using NAS, I'm using Subdomain Enumeration tools, I'm using directory brute forcing, I'm using Nmap, I'm using port scanning, and some scanners like Nuclei for searching for CVEs. All of these tools I'm collecting and put it all in the one tool or one script, just running this tool and see what is the result.
Oh, thank you.
But this kind of thing is just 10% of your testing. It's just helping you to gather information about the target and get some interesting endpoints and so on. But you don't have to depend totally on just the scanners or your scripts, because most of the critical vulnerabilities and high impact vulnerabilities, it comes manually. You can find it with any kind of tools. So how to maximize your bounty? You have to demonstrate the risk for the company and impact. For example, XSS vulnerability. Don't just stop when you see the alert box. You don't have to stop at this point. You can escalate it to account takeover by stealing cookies or tokens. If you found open redirect vulnerability, you have to redirect the website to the most impactful thing. Even you can search for SSRF, and you can escalate it for more impactful thing. You have to remember the cleverness or effort involved in your hack. Count for nothing. Focus on highlighting the risk. You have to highlight the risk of the vulnerability to get it validated. If you are just writing theoretical words in the report, you will get not applicable for this report. Even it could be valid, but you will get not applicable because you didn't let the trigger or the company understand what is the real risk in this vulnerability. You have to write a detailed and organized report with clear steps to reproduce and valid POC, which is proof of concept. Every step should be clear and detailed and valid. Because if you're just writing, as I told you, just writing steps, and you can make this kind of impact, just you are writing, it's not getting validated. You have to attach in your report valid POC, which is screenshots or even live video POC. Now, the most painful thing in the bug hunting, we all know, is duplicates. You are finding a valid duplicate, you are finding a valid vulnerability, and when you are reporting for the company, they are closing this vulnerability. They are just saying it's bad. Yeah, it's okay, it's valid, but it's duplicate. Someone reported this vulnerability before you. So they are just in bug hunting. They are just paying first one reporting the vulnerability. So unfortunately, you found the valid vulnerability, but you will not get paid. How to avoid these duplicates? You have to find the road less traveled. Whenever you will find road less traveled by hackers, that means you will find extra functions, extra features, as a result, extra vulnerabilities. Always look for wide scope target, which is like this. Whenever you get target like this, whenever you get scope like this, you have more possibilities to find more vulnerabilities and more functions to test.
Ahmed, there is some question. I should ask you now. The Kayhan, also my friends, asking to you, which platform is the best place for bug bounty and why? Snake, Backroll, which one is your best and why?
For me personally, I prefer Backroll. I'm almost just hunting on this platform. I have bad experience with HackerOne when I started bug hunting, so I didn't test with them anymore. So I'm almost testing in Backroll. They are so friendly. The support is so fast. There is high payouts. So I am almost, and also I have a good reputation on this platform. I have, as a result, I'm getting too many private invitations for just private companies asking me to make penetration testing for them. So I'm almost testing and bug hunting on Backroll. For Synac, it's good platform, but you have to apply for this as a company. As you are applying for job, there's four steps, I guess, or 5 steps to get accepted on this platform. You have to make interview and you have to solve some security assessments. They will give you some labs to solve. There is a processes of interview. If you bypass all of this progress, if you have bypassed all of these processes, then you will get accepted as a Synac team member. But their payouts is kind of low.
Okay. The other question, and I know you already showed some report link to us, but is there any kind of automation tool for writing report, or should we write this manually?
There is tools I mentioned here. Yeah, here you can check this write-ups. This is how to write report. This is explaining the tools. There's some tools to write the reports and how to write manual reports. For me personally, if I found something with high security risk or critical security risk, I have to write it manually to show the real impact to the company, which is the reporting tool not helping in this one. But you are just using the tools of writing reports in the low-hanging fruits or the low vulnerabilities. It helps in this one. You don't have to write your report every time. So yeah, you have to check it out. These 3 links, please.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then you have to confirm, you have to find domains and extend your scope by Google Docs and GitHub. You have to search in these two websites for anything related to this target. You have to confirm that the subdomain in the scope. Don't test in anything out of the scope because you will get negative reputation, and it will be bad thing for you in the platform. Maybe they can ban you for that. You have to port scan for all the subdomains and every IP addresses. Maybe you'll find open port for any service. Then you can achieve something more critical like or RCE vulnerability or any kind of CVE. You have to find acquisitions of the bounty program. You have to check the functionality changes and redesign, and every day there is improvement and development in the website. So whenever the developer is writing code, there is a possibility that this code could be vulnerable, and there is some security misconfiguration. So you have to keep your eyes on the target. You have to search also thousands of hackers, or like 80% of the hackers just searching in the bug bounty platforms for the web applications. You can search for mobile bug bounty platforms. You have to learn about mobile penetration testing and start testing for the mobile targets. Almost you will find unique vulnerabilities. You will not get duplicates on this one. Don't focus on the low-hanging bugs, which is missing security header or something like this. They are you can write it in penetration testing report. Yeah, they are caring about each security risk, but for bug bounty hunting, they are paying for you, so they don't care about this kind of very low security issues. Search for business logic and privilege escalation vulnerabilities. It's well known for almost of the hackers. Final tip for hackers: don't assume mature programs don't have findings left. Too many bug hunters, too many hackers just thinking that there is a well-known program, for example, like Google. He's just afraid to test on this website because he is just assuming there's too many hackers hacked on this website, so I will never find any vulnerability on this website. That's not true. Most of the critical vulnerabilities I found was in the public programs, and it was kind of very easy vulnerabilities to find. There is always something left for you can find. Remember to learn, be challenged, and have fun, make money, and grow with those careers. And also take care of your mental health, because as a bug hunter, when I started, I'm just hunting. You are hunting and getting money, so you are just all what you are care about to stay for a long time in front of your laptop to find vulnerabilities. I don't care about your mental health, and this is so harmful for you later. And finally, never give up and be patient to find your first vulnerability. It will not be easy, but it takes some time, and you have to improve yourself every day to find your first vulnerability. Here is some resources you can check for the web penetration testing and bug hunters methodology. You can check it out. Thank you everyone for watching this, and if you have any question, you can reach me in email or Twitter.
Wow, thank you, Ahmed, your experience sharing. Thank you. There was some question, but okay, Kayhan also answered some question. Some guys asking to you which one version of the burp it will be best for starting, because the burp license more expensive. Which one is the version of the burp is best for you?
For me personally, I'm using the old version for burp suite, which is 1.7. I'm using this version because it's just personal preferring. I'm just feeling comfortable because I was hunting on this tool for a long time, and I got familiar with everything on this tool now. So I'm preferring on this one, but you can use their last version. It's also a great one, and there's too many new features and kind of easier to find to manage the proxy and interception on this tool. And of course, I recommend to anyone to buy the burp suite license. If you are gaining money from hacking, you have to buy this burp suite tool.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining our channel today, Ahmed.
It's a pleasure to me. Thank you very much.
Go ahead. Can you close if you want?
Sorry?
Can you close our session?
Oh, okay, great. It's nice to be with you today. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you later.
Thank you. Thank you for good experience sharing. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.